were in Wyoming, some friends dropped by, and so we're going to take them out to the Red Desert. The friend's dog found a deer antler and we'll pack it out.
Another rock full of fossils here. Turban snails and clams and moon snails. From the snails we go on to see if we can find some wild horses, and we find one old stallion here, all by himself out here, grazing around the sagebrush. The stallion piles are on the road, so the herd must be here. But uh-oh, there's a herd of elk again, with another large herd bull in charge of this little harem. They mill around in front of us a little bit, till pretty soon the old bull sticks his nose in the air and sniffs, and he must have smelled us, and he herds up his cows, and in a cloud of dust they head out across the Red Desert. He looks to have another massive set of antlers, and he's a really large animal too. He takes them out through the sagebrush and up across a hill, and away they go, only pausing to look back briefly, and then they're out of there. And it looks like we have a little bit of a tire problem here. One of our tires is going flat real rapidly. We'll dig out the tools and have that tire fixed in a little bit here. Fortunately, we have a good spare along. By the time we have the tire fixed, the moon is up over the Red Desert.
Got
Idaho Falls. But the next morning,
Our friends
they
had to
headed
go.
out, and I had to go into Pinedale and get the tire fixed. Some more antelope are messing around out by the cabin.
Our friends have invited us to come to their place near the Snake River in Oregon, so it sounds good to us.
So we'll get everything taken care of today, and the next morning, bright and early, we're heading out toward Oregon. It will be close to 600 miles to have, so it'll take us all day long. But what a pretty drive. The quaking aspens are turning their fall colors by now. See any deer or bear out along the banks of Hell's Canyon Reservoir. Suddenly, Brian looks up on the mountain and sees a bear. We watch the bear a while and find that it's an old sow and a cub grazing along here, trying to find what they can to eat. Year, they're constantly on the move, turning over rocks, getting insects, checking out berry patches and eating the berries, and even eating some of the fresh green grass that's starting to come up. The cub stays with the sow pretty good most of the time, sometime lingering a little while, investigating different things, and then catching up later. The cub, I think, is eating a little of bark off the tree. As an omnivore, they can eat just about anything here. The cub lingers behind a while, and then pretty soon hurries it up and catches up with the old sow. They graze up over the ridge and then out across a patch of slide rock later. This sow only has one cub. Usually they have twins and sometimes triplets, but when it's all over and done, usually they only raise about one cub. Different things happen to the cubs. Sometimes the male bears come in and kill the cubs. Anything that he figures isn't in his territory and isn't one of his youngsters, he'll kill it just to keep his own genes going. The old sow goes over and checks out the trees for insects and also scent of other bears. If there's a boar around, she'll fight violently with him or else sneak away before he can find her to protect her cub. They move over across the slide rock. The cub is following. She's moving quite rapidly across here because there's not much to eat, but she knows where there's a berry patch and she'll be there soon. The river offers excellent opportunity for watching wild game. Here's an old doe with a little buck alongside the river, just grazing along and browsing on some of the tree limbs here. From the river you can see the remains of some old mines and some old mining shacks here above the road. It's just an excellent opportunity to really look the countryside over here as we move closer and closer to the head of Hells Canyon Reservoir. Closer and closer to the headwaters at Hells Canyon Dam. The water is smooth as glass up here, and it looks like this would be a good spot to test the water and see if there's a fish in it. It's always important to watch the bank for wild game, and there he is, a big old fat boar bear, grazing his way along the edge of Hells Canyon Reservoir here. Into the trees he goes. He's even displaying his ability to walk on his hind legs upright as he's looking in the bushes for some berries that he can maybe make a meal out of here. Then he notices a boat out there. But oh well, who cares? There's eating that has to be done here, and so he'll just go ahead and graze on off and see if he can find some more berries. They've been breaking down a lot of these trees that these berries are on over in this area. That they just won't withstand the weight of these giant old fat boars. Constantly on the move, he meanders on up the hillside, always with that watchful eye out for food here. He's got to get fat, and he's got to do it in a hurry here. Winter's coming on, and it looks to me like he's, from the looks of his belly, he's doing a pretty fair job on his mission of getting fat. And it looks as though he's set down in some berries or some cockleburrs or something. It looks like he's got some right on his hind end there as he grazes off into the autumn colors of the bushes here. Rocks. A little mink darts into one of the crevices on the rock. I guess he probably would like one of the fish as well. Then his curiosity gets the best of him, and he has to poke his head out again and run out across the rock there. If somebody could catch a fish, he wouldn't mind having a bite of it there. He could get to be a nuisance in a hurry where you're trying to catch a fish here, and if you catch a fish, what's to stop him from grabbing it? He looks like he's got a lot of enthusiasm here for the fishing. Fish, anybody caught? After all, he was here first. The first fish is a bluegills and crappies here, and it looks like they're really, really nice ones here. from the Snake River just above Hell's Canyon Reservoir, catfishing, crappie and perch and bluegill. Wow, are we going to have a fish feed or what? It's getting time to leave though. The weather's turned off a little bit nasty and it's starting to sprinkle a little bit of rain. So unless we want to get soaking wet, we better head for the dock and pull a boat in and go back and clean and eat some of these excellent fish. And we did, and there's no way you could find better fish. The sky is cloudy and drenched with rain as the fish basket keeps getting fuller and fuller of fish. Now with darkness and rain coming on, it's time to head for the boat trailer and load the boat up and get back way and get warmed up and dried out a little bit.